Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love Not Me. This week we are recapping episode 6 of the revolutionary BL. And as always, I'm Adam.
And I'm RJ. Welcome back.
Welcome back. It's so good to see you. So where we last left off was that black, well, white as black, blah, blah, blah. They know at this point. If they're 6 episodes in, they know. There's one in a coma and one who's not in a coma. So if I'm ever referring to anyone,
it's the one that's walking around.
The only person who's walking around.
Yeah.
So, White had been like abducted basically at the end of the last episode, and we had a little bit complained about that actually. And so we start the episode and he's like tied up. He's got a burlap sack over his head, which is what I had to wear to picture day every year through grade school. He's tied up with Sean. They're like over there together. There's some guys we've never seen before. Which did make me think, okay, maybe this is the real deal. It's the real deal. And so they try to like finagle out of it.
Yeah.
The guys come over, they grab their
Hi.
Tell us who you work with. Tell us who else is
As
here.
soon as he said that, I was like, oh, this is a test. To be like,
I didn't know.
I believed it.
I bought it.
Is White gonna rat him out? And he does.
And he does.
He does.
Because they're going to kill
Sean.
They've set it up to feel like they're going to kill Sean if he doesn't say.
And
Yuck, they want him to say.
Yuck comes out and he's like, "Hey, Black, why would you do that?" And even Sean like comes out of the performance and was like,
"The performance of a
lifetime,
lifetime, really."
That? I can't believe you would rat out your own friends.
I mean, I do. There's a part where Sean says, "Don't hurt my friend."
Yes, in the role play.
In the role play.
In the role play, yeah. Mm-hmm. He tells Sean like value your own life, right? Something like that.
Yeah, yes.
He's like, value your own life for once. God damn it.
Yeah.
Like it was very that ilk.
There's a level that like I feel like the lesson that Sean and the gang have to learn is that like they have to like be more strategic in what they're doing, specifically because otherwise what's the point?
What's the point if
you're
die?
You're just gonna die for nothing.
You're just gonna die and nothing. Yeah. And no one's ever gonna know what you did or what you stood for.
It's fine. I mean, like, I think it's like very noble to die for a cause you truly believe in.
Totally.
But like, if nobody knows that you even died for the cause, then like, well, did you die for the cause?
Yeah,
that's a philosophy.
I mean, they're doing they do a good job of kind of laying it out that White is in one method of thinking about how to enact change, and Sean
is not
in the same thought.
Yeah. First of all, if this happened to me genuinely as White, I would be like, I'm leaving.
Guys, I'm not Black. Okay.
I'm done.
I am not him. I'm actually his twin, and I thought I could, like masquerade and do a little bit of like.
I thought he was just like a normal guy living a life in Thailand.
And I'm just trying to figure out what happened to him. I did not sign up for this.
It was definitely Taui.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
at this point, you already know
for it to be anyone but Taui at this point. I would be like, well, that's a dereliction of screenwriting.
I feel like White. I don't know why White didn't ask like, hey, what was the last couple of like things that we did? What were the last few crimes that we did, and to whom?
God, I'm just like, I was trying to journal the other day, and I
couldn't remember.
I couldn't remember.
What was
I had
the
my
last
little
thing
diary
we did?
Open. What was it?
What did we do? Like 2 days ago?
It was like, yeah,
we did. I know it really riled up the girls, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who are the girls?
Who are the girls? By the way, who are the girls?
He does a really good job of eloquently saying it. I don't think I'll be able to repeat it, but he does a good job of eloquently saying like why he basically rat him out. And it's the same ilk of like, if no one
If
knows
we're
what you did.
alive and walk together, we can go further.
Higher, further, faster, baby. Captain Marvel. And it's funny because in the beginning, Yuck is like, I can't believe you would do that to us, your friends, blah, 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 blah. You don't really believe in this cause. And then he says that, and he's like, well, maybe you do have a point.
Yeah, Yuck flips so quickly.
Well, maybe you do have a point. I think that is something that we should think about.
We should think about staying alive.
Because, I've got a man that I'm still trying to find.
Well, it's so funny because they're like, well, you can't rat anyone else out because we don't want to be caught, but also like we're willing to die.
Make it make sense,
like
Dorothy.
there's a cognitive dissonance.
It's like,
I mean,
yes,
I get you don't want to rat the other people out.
Yes,
I get that.
Yes, you're connecting the passion that this is a cause that you would die for, but like stepping back, like, okay, so then you die.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then that's it.
You're doing a Just Jack moment.
You die.
Yeah. So Sean gets drunk.
And you can tell by the amount of blurred out beers and the blush that he's got
on. White goes in to talk to him and apologize. This is again where people would be like, who are you? Because the black that we've just heard about would never go in and be like,
hey, I just wanted to check up on you.
Follow up on that.
Are you okay?
I just wanted to circle back.
I'm circling back.
Yeah.
And he does ask, like, why are you so different now? But he's doing it drunk. So, like,
why are you so
different? It's the old black guy would never do this.
There's more of this general conversation of the like this episode.
Mm-hmm.
If every episode is brought to you by an argument and thesis statement, what's more it like who's right? Who's right?
What's the right way to do it?
Yeah, what's the right way to handle things?
Yeah.
So we do find out because they go to sleep in their room that they share together.
And it's very cute. I mean, there's a little,
Yeah, that's very nice. I'll talk about my feelings about the show so far at the end, but yes, that's very nice.
But they do have these sweet moments.
He's having the nightmare again.
And we see the
nightmare, which is just his memory of him finding out that his dad was killed. His dad is the truck driver.
His dad is the truck driver.
From last week's episode that we heard about in the case.
His dad got killed and all of the drugs were pinned on him.
Framed, yeah.
Yep.
And this is why Sean is out for revenge. But he does not share this with White.
Yes.
He does not tell him.
He does not. We know.
We know because we see it. But the only thing that White sees is that he needs to be held while they sleep.
The body pillow isn't enough.
No, it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
They wake up in the next morning and they have the like, oh, what are
Ew,
you doing?
What are you doing, bro?
Gay chicken.
Yeah.
And then he says like, he asks him like, don't you want to know what I was dreaming about? And he goes, no.
No. I figured if you did want me to know, you would have told me by now.
Yeah.
He's got a point.
He goes back to sleep.
Yeah. But then Sean is like, wake up. Today's the night of the mission.
Opening night. Come feel the
You have to get dressed
in the air.
Because it's probably like what?
Night.
10, 11. And he's like, we got to get ready for the mission. Get up.
It's the weekend. It has to be because they're not at school.
They're not in school.
Yeah. A weekend. So here's the mission. So this is Sean's mission that he came up with.
Because remember, White did win the
Crocodile.
Holy Croc.
I have to go get that.
Is that crocodile?
From the Amazon locker.
Oh, you bought one?
I bought one. And they will send it back on the 1st. They're going to go to the warehouse where Tawi is making the popular beverage.
The most popular beverage. It looks like wine.
It's wine. It should have been the animated.
It should have been the Soda Boy, but I guess they wouldn't. But it should have been. I mean, like if it's the most popular
product placement, there you go.
But no, it looks like a blend, maybe like a house red blend. But looks, I don't know if it's good. It doesn't look good.
I don't think any of Towie's products are probably that great.
Or like actually great. Yeah.
Yeah. They're probably just fine. You know what they bet they have? Tannins. Give you a headache, bitch. That's for the sommeliers. So they're going to break into the warehouse, and 2 of them are going to distract the people who work at the factory.
I wonder which 2.
Factory. And the other 2 are going to put a bitterant into the vat of product that is going to be bottled and distributed.
Yes.
And then because of that, when people purchase this beverage, this very popular beverage, they will drink it, taste the bitterness, and they will then boycott the product.
Towie and the product.
And then he will fall. I think is the plan. The end's a little muddy. Maybe it's just they're just going to boycott it.
At this point, Sean, just kill the man. I mean, the way we're building it up that like he ruined my life. It's a personal vendetta. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even feel like, yes, he represents all the evil, right?
Yeah.
But you specifically want to exact revenge because of your
very like he's too close to it.
It's too close. He's trying to be like, no. This is for the good. This is for the good of it because he's so mean. And it's like, and it has nothing. I mean, it has nothing to do with the fact that he's the reason why my father's dead.
Right.
I think
Where's his mom?
We don't know.
Because it's very interesting. So the show, I've been realizing slowly that
maybe it is like Dead Friend Forever, where the mom.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Is that in Dead Friend, a show that's very similar in its themes of being like, hey, Thailand's got problems.
Yes.
Which is the overall consensus of what the show's talking about. Dead Friend Forever had like the parent, like one of them died and then the other like killed themselves.
Yeah,
because
basically
of it.
From the grief.
Yeah. Well, no, one died from grief and then the other died because they were like, my wife is dead.
Yes, my wife. So that grief.
2 griefs.
2 griefs.
2 griefs and a rabbi walk into a bar. So while they're discussing this, they talk about how there's this new character named Teshit.
Mm-hmm.
And he is the Towie's right-hand man. And he's definitely going to be there. So we have to make sure that he's taken care of.
Yeah. So White's skeptical. Well, how do you know this bitterant isn't just poison and we're not just going to like fucking poison everyone?
Right.
He's like, no, we researched it.
Graham researched
it. The last time Graham researched someone, he thought no one was in Towie's home.
I know. Yeah. Wait, yeah.
And there was someone there and they all got mad at him, remember?
Wait. Stop letting this man do the research.
Yeah.
Change it to a new person.
Yeah.
What does Gumpa do?
Train them.
That's it?
I think
He's just
training. Yeah, training and enabling. Because I don't, like I said, like he doesn't feel like the one that's coming up with the ideas. He's like,
no, he's
we're
very
all
clearly
here.
not.
We're all here because we share the same goal. But ultimately, like, I mean,
that's why he's like, let the crocodile of fate decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he barely shows up. It's just in the beginning where it's like you fail the test and then Gumpa's not. Because I made a prediction.
Oh, yes, that did not come true.
That did not come true. I said at the end of this episode, Gumpa's going to go in private, like to White, like, I know who you really are.
I know what you are.
I know what you are.
You bitch. You bitch. That didn't happen.
No.
That didn't happen.
But White is skeptical and he doesn't want to do it.
But Gumpa he got paid for the up.
Yeah.
He got his check.
Per appearance, honey.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So then they go to do the mission.
They go to do the mission. No, like...
There's so much arguing in this episode about it.
Yes.
There's just like this consistent, like, well, we shouldn't do it this way. Have you thought of all the angles? Which, I mean, like, I am very much a White.
Yes.
In terms of, like,
This can't be the smartest way to do this.
Well, there's a line later where Graham and Yok are having a conversation, and they're like, shouldn't we have a backup plan? And I was like, we haven't even discussed
the two of them are already in there.
the possibility of a backup plan. What I mean, like, I just need like someone with a vision.
And it should be Gumpa, but he's not.
Yeah,
That's the confusing part.
Problem
I need
for
the
me
hierarchy.
is that everyone here is like a type B, and there's no type A.
Yeah.
And I really need a type A to get in there and like sort things out.
Yeah.
Make it clear.
They need a project manager.
They have a plan. I mean, they do have a plan.
Yes.
They didn't just walk in willy-nilly.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like they really actually talked about.
I mean, he had the maps, right? He had the route of where everyone's going.
He had the blueprints.
Mm-hmm. But it still didn't work. You know what I mean?
Right. So Black, okay, this is what's crazy to me. After all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sean is so concerned about Black.
Yeah.
He sets up a test, which Black fails. Then he still is like, okay, but you can come on the mission because...
Yes. Well, he keeps saying, like, if you don't want to do it, if you're just too scared, because that's really what it is. You're just too scared to do it, then don't do it.
Yes.
And White is stubborn and say, like, no, it's not because I'm scared. I can say, because I think he still wants to prove that, like, no, I'm Black. I'm really Black. But you don't want to do it.
Right. But then Sean lets him come on the trip. But then again, they're having these like
constant at every step.
How are we sure that this isn't gonna do this and the other? Da, 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 da. Everything is like okay, right?
Yeah.
Sean thinks it's because Black wants to take over the like planning of the mission. Diva, it's not that. I promise you.
Yeah.
Not with this Black. Let's say that. White is fully just like, have you considered like
anything
going
else
to the people and trying to change minds?
Yeah.
Have we considered that as an option?
Because that's the thing, when no one's gonna know that you did this.
No one's gonna know.
You did this. They're gonna be like, oh, there was a bad batch of the wine.
Like at least
we'll recall it.
That's why Yok is like, we need Unar because Unar is at least putting out statements so that people are like impacted by.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Because they're not releasing like
Sean is too close. It's not about actually putting the blame on Taui. Right. He just wants him dead.
It's not even like an anonymous situation where they'll do the like V for Vendetta face and then be like, it's me, right? Like they don't release they didn't release a statement with the arson to be like, we did this for the people and the good of the rainforest or whatever.
Because that's the thing. Even when they burned down the thing, even though it was buried by the media, the thing was like their house was set ablaze, but it wasn't like, it didn't say like there were people that went in there. Right.
Mm-mm.
And even,
they just said no one was hurt.
Yeah, they just said no one was hurt.
So that's the crux of the whole argument. And yet anyway, Sean goes,
well, come on, let's go.
So come on, let's go. And you have the most important
part of the job
of this entire mission.
I mean, he keeps testing him, but like he's already failed.
He already failed the test.
Don't make him do it again.
Fool me once, fool me twice. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you just go do it yourself?
Yeah.
Just go put the bitterant in, girl.
You're already in there. Bitterant.
So stupid.
Like while they're in there, they're like, why didn't you just tell me to I think what we should do? Blah, blah,
well,
blah,
because
blah.
Okay, so they get to the warehouse.
There is an employee, okay, someone that's putting in the work, clocking in late at night to make sure the vials are in the right place.
Right.
And catches White, because White brilliantly puts on a lab coat.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, who are you?"
Right.
And so White fully unmasks and was like, "I was brought in by Tetsit, and that I do have to come in tonight. He just wanted me to make sure, like, do a last minute thing."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, okay. Does that mean you want me to open anything for you?" Like,
right.
Clearly, and he's like, "No, I got it. Thank you."
And
then Sean all of a sudden just like
chokes him out.
And even Mike's like, she was
handled.
She was handled, Diva.
So this is the problem, right? Because White is concerned that other people are going to get hurt in the process.
Yes.
This is why, again, he didn't spray the house.
He didn't spray
with
the house
gas.
on fire. He doesn't want to knock anyone out.
He saved Unar.
He saved Unar, yeah.
Right? He doesn't want the bitterant. He doesn't even want people to taste the bitterant.
The bitterant.
I think he's a little overboard on that. I think people can drink bitter drink and be like, "Oh, that's gross. I won't buy this
gross,
again."
Yeah.
I just don't.
It's just a dumb plan.
I think the plan
it's
is
just
not
a
good.
dumb plan.
That's just my personal thing. But like, I'm not necessarily
that.
worried about people being like, "Oh my god, it's gross," and like scarring them for life. But then Sean comes in and chokes him out, and then they find 2 security guards
that he's already
also,
choked out to take over the security room.
And White's fully like, "Oh, you're crazy."
It's not about I think you're right. I think you had it right. He's too close. He is.
It's like how your doctor's not supposed to operate on their like family.
Yeah.
It's just like that. They're too close.
Yeah.
You can't make rational decisions because he's so tunnel visioned to being like, I have to ruin Towie's life.
Yeah.
Which is going to end up being I have to kill Towie.
Yes.
That's the
so just
only
gets
way.
There.
I mean, I actually don't think it's going to be. I don't think Towie's going to die. That would be my guess.
I don't think
of
no.
This GMMTV show.
I think it's going to be a full like public humiliation.
I think so,
that's
too.
The big payoff.
That's what I think it's too.
Look, he is wrong, and this is how.
Because I think it's going to be the public turns the tide, and they all bring him down.
Yeah,
I think
that's the lesson that Sean has to learn.
Well, that's the point. I feel like the show is trying to be like,
we all have to come together.
We can do this together.
Yes,
that's the point. Because
Yeah,
it's not even trying to frame Sean. Like, it's not even trying to frame their missions as like noble.
Yeah.
Currently,
Yeah.
there is a bit of like the way the show is structured that you're supposed to be like, this is kind of haphazard, and they are a mess.
Yeah. Yes.
And so
I think
thought it was
this
interesting
one
that in the next episode they go to like a proper protest.
They go to a protest, and it's like
you know what I mean? Like an official like public protest,
public display of activism, as opposed to just this like anarchy without being able to say what's it for? Because it does. I think by having Sean's plan be like the one enacted, it's really showing that like, oh, there's no coherent. We're not unified in anything.
Yeah,
it's the thing of like, okay, so it's just a generic Towie's bad. Let's make sure. Let's do.
Yeah. There's not even the end of a sentence. It's just subject verb.
Yeah. I do think this is where the show is good. Like, we're not supposed to think that they're like.
I don't think we're supposed to be like, oh, they're the brilliant thinkers of our time.
We're supposed to think like, oh, they're messy and like they have no direction.
They're messy on a boot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
not messy on a boots.
Yes, messy on a boots.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, while they're waiting at the security footage, okay, they've knocked the security guards out. They have to wait until
this is my favorite scene. This one coming up.
They have to wait until the shift change, so that
they're taking their
all the Graham who are still waiting outside can come in during the shift change and like set off smoke and like do fireworks and do a whole thing to like bring everyone toward them. So that they can go in and put in the bitterant. Okay, so we cut to Yock and Graham just waiting.
And they're like, okay, let's just hang out.
And this is when, first of all, they were like, should we have a backup plan? And I was like, we haven't even discussed.
They have no backup plan.
The idea.
Well, this was when, again, Galaxy Brain, I was like, Graham keeps asking about it. That I'm like, Graham's going to get caught.
Oh, you had a full,
so I was writing plot, baby.
Oh, RJ was writing plot.
I was like, Graham's the one getting caught because he keeps asking for it. So it's like we're projecting that like he's the one that's going to get caught. Just like the scene where Black sees Sean get caught and doesn't save him. Yeah. But now White has to do it. And I said that White does the same thing and like because he's scared does not save him. But Adam was like, no, I think he does save him to show that he isn't Black. Like he is trying to get past
well, he's just a different person.
He's just a different person, yeah.
He's not selfish.
Don't worry. None of that happened.
None of that happened. Actually, nothing happens.
Actually, nothing happens.
They have this conversation, and I will say, I liked the conversation.
I like the conversation.
I thought it was very sweet.
Yes. First, once again, his fucking like big brown eyes, just
cow eyes,
makes you melt. I'm like, oh,
I know.
And even
Mon smile.
Yes.
Oh my
Ooh,
God.
that is a deadly combination.
Put the two of that together on a person.
Oof.
My God. So they have this conversation about looking into someone's eyes
and knowing that they're not the same.
And knowing they're not the same. Whatever that means. Right?
Basically,
it's supposed
love
to
at
be
first
vague
sight
enough so that they can each be talking about the person that they like.
Yes. It's like, do you think love at first sight is real?
So Graham is basically like, I'm in love with Black. Right? I think what we're getting at, right? They haven't said it explicitly.
They haven't said it. I think we're still trying to be like, is he talking about Eugene or is he talking about
right?
No, that's Black
girl.
It's a BL.
It's a BL.
They're gay.
And Yok is obviously talking about Unar. Okay.
I miss Unar. I miss Unar. I need to see him more.
Unar is a guest role on this show, honey. Unar is in every other episode on the show.
He is literally 6th build. Because I would say Gumpa is...
Yeah. I think Gumpa's been in every episode so far. At least for a second. So they have this, I think, very nice moment. Mm-hmm. Although I was a little bit like, can we not after?
Do this here?
Can we do crime and then be gay?
Yeah, be gay, do crime, but they were like, okay, so be gay first.
Okay, so it's first. So
listen, we're not crime girlies.
Off gun. Be gay, do crime. Okay, I see. Got it. Well, now wait a minute.
We're flipping the script, honey.
The alarm goes off. It's time for the shift change. They go in. Everyone from now on moves with
at a glacial pace.
Sense of urgency, which I feel like is both incredible from a directing standpoint of being like the way without doing a ton of action shots, right? Because like they don't have the biggest budget in the world for the show. The way to ratchet up the tension is to make them not move quickly, because I, as an audience member,
I was stressed.
Was like, I need them to
I need you to move faster because you are about to get caught.
I'm going to pass out watching this.
White is literally like...
Fully, he's like, he literally opens that fucking vat. He's like... Just put that right over here. I was like, girl,
hurry the fuck
put
up.
The fucking powder in there. And guess what, Diva?
He didn't put the bitterant.
He didn't put the bitterant in the bitterant. So, okay, here's my guess. This is my guess.
Okay, so they don't explain it, but we see in action. He doesn't put the bitterant in.
He opens the vat, looks at the bitterant. He is such a sweet tooth boy. He can't even imagine doing this to someone.
People drinking bitterant. So he places them next to the vat.
Takes a bunch of photos.
And takes selfies.
And then of the vat, me with my bitterant. Just me and my bitterant. He takes like a photo of the vat with the bitterant all together.
Yeah.
And then like
leaves.
Runs.
Yeah, leaves it right there, leaves the vat
and
open.
Sean, who is watching on the cameras, whose job, by the way, was to delete the CCTV footage after this was all done. That doesn't get done, by the way. And I have a feeling it's not going to ever come back up. But I know you said you were supposed to do that.
And you didn't.
And you didn't, Diva. So, he comes down, and the first time anyone moves quickly is when Sean runs over to him to yell at him.
Why did you put your name in the cover? Why did you put your name in the cover? Why did you put the bitch into the vat? And we don't know because
he doesn't.
Tected comes in.
Yeah,
and he's like, "You bitches are dead." Like full slow mo. Like, oh, you're fucking going down.
So now it's just a chase scene to all get out. Everybody escapes.
Everyone does get out.
There's not really any. I mean, it's like I think it's fine. It's a good chase scene. I think it works. There's like a fisticuffs.
Tetson tries to get to. He's about to like get White, and Sean stops him. White hits him with a bag. They're able to escape.
Yeah, it's great. They finally get escape. Okay.
And then
they get out. They get to the bikes because they're gonna drive away.
And then Sean chokes White the fuck out.
Sean hits him with his helmet to knock him down, and then starts choking him.
And basically says like, "My dad died because of Taui.
Why would you do this to me?
Why would you do this to me?"
Why did you do
he
that,
didn't know.
Do that
That's what I'm saying. He didn't know,
Why would you
girl.
do that? Why would you do that?
He didn't know. He didn't know that.
No, he didn't know that. And also,
the plan was bad.
The voiceover is crazy because he's fully like, I knew I was going to die.
Yeah.
And it's just because I didn't follow his direction.
And then like he was like, and it made me regret, like maybe I should have just done what I.
Yeah.
But I think.
But that's how the episode ends. It's a crazy ending of an episode. I know. I way like this, but way more than last week's though.
Oh yeah. But are we supposed to know that White did have a plan at that moment?
Well, so in the preview for the next episode, it says that he has to like convince him because he says, "What if my plan doesn't work?"
So I think
because I think what he's going to do, or the idea is that you send it in you like report it like a tip, like anonymously or whatever, that there's like chemicals or whatever, and so then they would like the health department has to come out and like shut you down or whatever, which would be more detrimental potentially than just a bunch of people being like, or just being like, oh, we need a recall.
Get the FDA on
especially because at that point they'd already been found.
Yeah,
maybe they wouldn't know that they did something with the bitterant. The guy who comes, that White is like, I'm
supposed to do something for Tetsu.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, do you want me to open the QC closet for you, the quality control closet?" So I think my guess is that he's going to be like, I knew they were going to do a quality control check, which means they would have never released it anyway.
Yeah, they would have found it.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered.
I think that it was like a threat. Like he posted, like, because I think he took the pictures, I think, to post. Like, I like Anonymous. That, like, we were this close to ruining. And he could have said, like, we were this close to poisoning this.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. If the whole thing is like, if his motivation is to like sway the public opinion, into being against Taui, that could work.
So I think it was an anonymous thing, and they're gonna like make a name. I think that first you gotta do branding. There's no branding happening with this group.
I mean, hello, Anonymous.
Hello, yeah.
Hello,
it's eponymous.
It's eponymous anonymous.
It's eponymous anonymous. We all know anonymous.
And the hippopotamus.
What a crazy episode.
What a
because
crazy
it was just
episode.
Focused on one thing. We didn't get B plot. I mean, you get the little have
gay
you ever
conversation.
thought about being gay? Staring at a man.
You ever thought about looking in a man's eyes? Dorothy.
Look into my eyes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty much it. Everything else was really focused on like the back and forth with Sean and White.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it held on enough to keep me. It just got really repetitive.
This episode?
Just the back and forth. I was like, okay, yeah, we got it.
Oh, the arguing. By the
arguing. Because by the time we got to the actual plan, I was like, you're already here. Why are you still arguing like which way should we do it? You're already there.
It has to be clear that White doesn't agree, because like it would be shitty for him to be like, well, I don't agree, but he doesn't say anything, because you have to get it to a point where Sean has to like reject the help.
He just keeps disagreeing. Like,
right. It's just that it keeps happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say my thing about this show?
So far, six episodes in.
6 of 14. We have 8 episodes left. That's a long runway.
Yeah.
I feel, except for like the sleep scenes.
Yes. That is the only chemistry you're getting.
That is the only. They are such enemies at this point. I just watched him choke him out at the end of the episode, and I understand that it is like not a traditional BL in terms of like it's not right. It's not fluffy. It's not. That's not what it's going for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You need it a little bit more.
I don't know. I just need like I think I really like what's going on with
the story
and
Yok and
Unar.
Unar. I know.
I think that's great. I actually do really. If Graham is really into black,
yes, so intrigued with the Graham and black.
I think that's really interesting.
Because then they're coupling everyone.
I don't know if I like am here for White Sean yet. But I think it's hard too because the show is so deadly serious.
Yeah.
And pointedly so and understandably so. That I almost am like, would I like this more if I didn't have the context that it's gonna be a BL?
Right.
Because I feel
now
like
that you
I'm
have an
watching the
expectation.
show and being like, when is the BL happening?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the like actual plot of the like bringing Towie down. I like all that. Like I think that's being done really well. I think, yes, we've already talked about it, but I think like some of the like explanation of like justice and stuff like that like is a little heavy-handed, but that's fine.
That's part of it.
It's for 17-year-olds.
That's the main thing.
But like I don't know if I am going to end up by like they have hated each other, and it's not. There's a difference. Like I think some shows that are enemies to lovers, which is a trope that I do love.
Yeah,
there is like a charged energy to them.
Yeah.
And that I don't. They just feel like they dislike each other presently. Yeah. And not in a way that's like fun and
is it
could be
supposed
sexy.
To be sexual attention? I think that's what they're trying to do, but I think it's not it's a hard sell. Because because I know that it's a BL and because I know it's them, I'm filling in the gap that like, oh, this is supposed to be sexual tension. But if you are watching
I don't know if it's supposed to be sexual. I think so. My guess is that it's going to be a very like he's going to like calm him down.
Yes.
He's gonna like bell to the beast him.
Yeah.
Which is like its own kind of whatever.
Right. It's its own trope. Yeah.
Right, and that's fine. But I just eight episodes. I mean, that's 8 hours of show left. Yeah. So there's a lot of room.
Yeah, totally.
To do anything. But
we've already hit the first
the first act is done.
The first act is done.
Yeah.
And what have we gotten so far to tease us in? Holding each other in sleep.
I kind of almost wish.
Because remember episode 2, you were like, he had that look in the staircase, and that got me back in of like, okay, there's something here. And then 4 episodes later, it's just that same amount every episode. Do you know what I mean? It's like one scene every episode.
Tiny.
And I'm like, I mean, technically, this is the B plot, right? Like the romance is not the main plot of the show.
Totally. I almost wish like the BL was just relegated to like Yok and Unar.
Oh yeah,
and that's it. Because I think like them coming together, like ideologically,
they are the romance. Yes,
like I almost think that would be more important, and like not necessarily friendship. I don't want to be like it's important to have friends, but like
to be able to come together.
The show is so ferociously trying to impart this like wisdom and like call to action.
Like even people that have multiple ways of thinking about this can come together.
Yeah. That I feel like
that's the BL. That's the love.
that getting in the way of like, oh, and also we have to keep track of this plot line of that they're going to fall in love. Is like, I don't know.
I'm kind of sold. Yeah, I think I wish Yok and Unar was just
that was it. I mean, they'll probably change my mind. It's also hard because we end the episode with him choking him out. Like it's crazy. Yes. It is a crazy ending.
I mean, listen, in History 3 Trap, they've shot each other. So
that was not on purpose, RJ. Don't do this.
You don't understand. That's real love.
Free tongue.
Free tongue.
I think that's my only thing.
Yeah.
I trust that they're going to solve it and they're going to get them together, and I'm going to end up liking it.
I know it's going to go there. I know I'm going to get the payoff is great. I know Off and Gunn are going to kill it because they have really good chemistry as together.
Gunn's
such
so
a great actor.
Episode. He's so good.
But I think despite all of that, I have a feeling that afterwards I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, no, all of that work that paid off. I think I still would have preferred Yuck and Unar. Probably
to be the only one.
To be the only BL.
Probably. Maybe. We'll see.
But we'll see.
That's just how it feels.
Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong, girls.
MVP?
I will give it to Sean. Sean being drunk and like kind of like, nah, I'm listening. I was like, oh, you're like, there's the personality.
Mm-hmm.
There's the vulnerability.
He like grabs his face. Yes. Yeah.
I was like, that a lot. There's the personality. Mm-hmm. There's the vulnerability. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, we're trying to get to that place.
Mm-hmm. He's broken.
Yeah. Understandably so.
I'm going to not give it to a person, but I'm going to give it to a scene this week. And it is the scene where they like they're like break the fourth wall basically, and they look into the camera when they're looking at each other, and they have their gaiters on.
The full gaiters.
And it's just them eye acting.
Yes, it's just Off's eyes.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Because so that was the moment I remember. Okay, because he choked out the two guards, and White is like, "Why would you do that?" Blah blah blah. And Sean is fully like, "Do you think I want to hurt people? Do you think I want to do this?
No, it's
come to this that I have to do this.
Do you think I'm not scared?
Do you think I'm not scared?" And White just goes like, "I'm sorry." Like he genuinely is like.
That scene was
really good. That I'm like, okay.
They really acted the fuck out of that. Especially like not being like just seeing eyes. Their eyes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's that I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I don't need it to be a romance. Almost.
Yeah, I don't think I need it to be a romance. They'll change my mind.
Of course they will.
2 episodes from now, I'll be like, I want to watch them.
I want to watch them
plow each other to bits.
I mean, I don't need romance to appreciate that, honey.
Sure. To me,
that's bitterant. Join us on patreon.com/boysloveboyslove, where you can watch these amazing reactions that we do for these episodes where we're really questioning.
Just yapping, honestly.
Yeah.
Just yapping away.
Usually there's a snack of choice that I'll bring, what recent RJ's... Costco find that
oh my God.
But yes, you can join us on the Bow level where we are watching this. Currently also watching Kingdom Legendary Wars. You can join those reactions. And if you're a person that's like, you know what? I also don't want romance. I just want bodies pressing up against each other.
Ew.
We are watching My Personal Weatherman, where there's a lot at the Bob level, where there's a lot of sexual tension.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's just tension. I think it's
just sexual.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on in that show.
I know.
They're crazy.
They're crazy over there.
They're crazy over there in JBL land.
I know. So join us on the Patreon.
Fight the good fight.